Hello and welcome to iDivas. For those of you who don't know, I'm Tricia and I'm passionate about inspiring women to not just hang in there but to thrive. The idea of meeting the man you want to ride off into the sunset with would appeal to any woman searching for love. When you meet someone, who appears to be a cut above all the men you've dated in the past, you may want to move in with him or have him move in with you right away and not seriously consider the effects of your decision. However, solid relationships, have foundations made up of patience and due diligence. So I'm going to share when is the right time to move in with your man and some important things to consider. First, before even dreaming about moving in together, you may want to, give it time so you can learn who the person truly is. In order to do that, you should give the relationship, extra time, waiting a minimum of 1 to 2 years after you start dating. You may be thinking 1 to 2 years is too long. However, you want to know exactly, what you're stepping into. There is a big difference between just dating and being in a relationship with a live-in partner, two very different scenarios. So as you get to know someone over time, you figure out, if you really want to be in a committed relationship, and live with them or not. Most guys are on their best behavior at the start of the relationship, and then the masks slip off. And you get to see and know the real them. That's just how it is. Plus, it takes time for you to become best friends, which is the ultimate goal. And often, as you get to know a person better, you may find that your personality may not match as well as you thought at first. And if it doesn't, that's the time where you separate and move on. All right, so before moving in, you should also know how your man lives. Couples who do not see eye to eye on the basic, day-to-day things may have a more difficult time living together, whereas those who share similar living standards will find that their daily lives have far fewer conflicts. And so you should know, what your partner's home or bedroom looks like on a day-to-day basis. Doing so will provide you with a real picture of how clean he's going to be in your own home. How clean a person keeps their things also shows how much self-respect they have. A disordered place might be the result of other factors too. It might mean that he's just busy and has little or no time to do dishes or laundry regularly, in which case that's not, a big deal. On the other hand, if his place is a constant mess and filthy for no apparent reason, that could be a sign of depression or some other form of mental illness. That's good information to know. You may not want to live with someone who is not mentally well. Not all couples clear the skeletons out of their closet before moving in. So you never know what deep issues might pop up once you start sharing a living space. And, while your partner does have a right to privacy, it is certainly fine to question things that you notice or have picked up on, especially if you think it might negatively affect you or the relationship. Furthermore, know his temperament. I can't stress this one enough. You should have a clear idea of what kind of temper, your guy has before moving in with him. Moving in with a guy who has a short fuse can be stressful and traumatizing, especially if it was, something that you were not anticipating. You never want to feel like you're walking on thin ice in your own home. That's the worst. And if that's the case, then, you're better off just living alone. At least, then you'll have peace. Furthermore, before moving in, try to analyze how well your man deals with life challenges. That includes how he reacts when, someone doesn't agree with him. Is he level-headed? Or will he fly off the handle and, slap someone like Will Smith over, the slightest disagreement? Also, social expectations are often omitted when discussing, how things will happen in your home. Whether you'll host parties or allow your friends and family to hang out at the house is something you two should really talk about. Remember that when you live with a man, you're also committing to being warm and friendly to his loved ones, be it his buddies or his family members. Many sweet relationships turn sour and even end because of the company that someone's partner keeps. Whether it be an annoying best friend or an overbearing mother, the people that both of you bring into each other's lives should be respectful of your relationship. But sometimes that's not the case. Your guy should respect your friends and family. You don't want to move in with someone who wants to isolate you from the people you love, killing the vibe in all of your relationships. Also, you don't want to move in with someone who isn't, willing to defend you when their loved ones are giving you grief. Knowing what kind of relationship your partner has with his family is super important. You should know how invested his family is in his life. If you don't get along with them, then you may not want to see them as often. This is why I say waiting a year or two before moving in together allows you to experience every holiday with each family to basically test the waters. Also, be financially responsible because living together can be just as much of a financial headache as it can be an emotional one when you are not. For instance, you should know how you and your guy plan on paying the bills. Are you going to split the expenses 50-50 and not get joint bank accounts or credit cards? Or will finances be pooled together regardless of income? And, so income, expenses, and debts are all shared. These are details that need to be ironed out beforehand. Last, talk about your plans. Does your guy even have a plan? A man who can't plan for me is a deal breaker. Decisions like, having children, career plans, preferred location should be discussed. Even couples who know each other better than they know themselves should, take the time to talk about what expectations they have for each other to ensure that you're both on the same page. I hope this helps. I hope it really helps you to make smart moves that don't set you back and instead really set you up for success. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.
Oh.